Self-care is health, and when we don't practice self-care, we are essentially neglecting a big part of us. And we are also putting ourselves last. So if there's anything that I want you to take away from today's video, is knowing that self-care is something that we all need to be able to develop in order to honor our sense of self and our autonomy. So if you'd like to hear more, please stay tuned. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, and welcome to my channel, Divine Esme, where I talk a lot about healing the inner child, the inner wounds, and working towards developing your most divine and most authentic self. Today, our topic of discussion is going to be self-care practices, healthy self-care practices, and how important self-care is in order for us to be able to nourish ourselves. So if there's one thing you can take away from this video today is knowing that self-care is health. And when you neglect your self-care, you are essentially neglecting you. You're neglecting yourself. Self-care is a practice that honors our well-being. It nourishes our mind, our body, and our spirit. So when we neglect it, we are essentially taking a big part of what helps us connect within. So throughout my years of experience as a clinician, I have been able to meet with people in a lot of different stages of their lives. And I've seen firsthand how neglecting self-care has led folks into increased stress, into health issues, into disconnect with people, into disconnect within things that they enjoyed, and it's robbed their sense of joy. So when I meet with individuals, I have noticed that a lot of them say, well, I'm often taking care of my kids. I'm often taking care of my wife. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I need to attend this function. I am getting caught up in doing so many different things. So it's hard for me to be able to take some time to do some of the things for me. And I always encourage folks to see that when they have other things take precedence over their sense of being and over the things that are important for them to engage in order to keep that level of connection with them, it is going to be a big issue. So oftentimes when I work with folks, I really try to encourage them to identify what connects them to who they are, what helps you, what drives you, in order for them to be able to see some of the things that are important for them in their self-care. And I help folks really get back to that connection and build that sense of autonomy. And I help them by being able to incorporate some of these things throughout their activities of daily life. So it's not disrupting their routine. So it's not really taking away so much. So some of the examples of that could be taking 5 minutes of the day to step outside and to enjoy the fresh air, to smell the fresh air, to really enjoy some sunshine, to enjoy the rain, to enjoy the gloominess of the day, to read one of your favorite books, to light one of your favorite candles, to spray some of your favorite perfume, to engage in skincare, to take care of your hair, but really to take some time to identify something that brings you a sense of calmness and a sense of joy. And in the last few years, not only has self-care been a center of discussion for individuals that I have worked with, but it has also been a sense of discussion for clinicians like me. And one of the reasons why it has come up a lot is because of burnout. And there's a lot of times where as clinicians, we don't necessarily engage in self-care ourselves, because helping professionals, we are often taking care of other people. So sometimes it really feels difficult to be able to even take some time for us, but it is as important for us to take care of us the same way we're preaching to our clients, because it could be really damaging to others and to us when we do not take care of ourselves. Because if we are neglecting that time for us, how can we show up for other people? How can we show up for other people when we are neglecting our own self-care and our own well-being? So it's really important to be able to utilize that time for you and make sense of that time So that way you can feel connected to who you are. Rather that is individuals, rather that is us clinicians, it really is important to develop a routine. And I am here trying to practice what I preach. So one of the main things that I've been trying to do every single day, even though I work from home, I make sure that I still engage in my hygiene and still get dressed with something that I like to wear. Even though I'm not showing it or working or whatever, I try to wear things that are going to make me feel comfortable and are going to make me happy. The other thing is making sure that I'm taking time by making myself a cup of coffee and enjoying it by stepping outside and breathing in the fresh air. But it's extremely important for us clinicians to practice what we preach. So whatever routine it is that you'd like to develop, it doesn't matter what it is identified specifically for you. Because again, self-care could look differently for a lot of us. If you had talked to me about self-care in grad school and you had asked me, hey, maybe incorporate reading a book that you love. Even though I liked reading and enjoyed reading before grad school, I wasn't necessarily going to pick up a book in grad school because I already had a lot to read. So it is different for everyone. It is something that you are going to be identifying that connects you to who you are. And that brings you that sense of fulfillment and that sense of joy. So again, if you can take away anything from this video today, I'd like for everyone to know that self-care is health. So please incorporate anything that brings you a sense of joy. Please incorporate self-care practices within your routines and identify what it is that helps you feel good. And thank you again, everyone, for liking, for subscribing, and if you relate to anything that I have been discussing or any of my content, please remember to comment, like, and share, and subscribe. And I look forward to talking with you all soon. Bye!